U.S. Representative, South Carolina's Representative Nancy Mace is asking the federal government to investigate the lab where 43 monkeys recently escaped in Beaufort County. 30 of the monkeys have been recaptured, 13 still on the loose tonight. Mace sent a letter to the USDA and the National Institute of Health. Her office says this incident just one of a string of violations from the Alpha Genesis lab there in the Low Country, which is federally funded. She's asking the agencies to break down lab contracts and inspections, all communications about the recent escape, and corrective actions for the lab. The lab has reportedly faced fines from the U.S. Department of Agriculture in the past. See them on your screen here. In 2017, the facility was fined for violating the Animal Welfare Act. That included 2 violations for failing to secure primates. In 2022, the facility was issued a warning for allegedly violating guidelines for primate housing and veterinary care.